The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to start out the show with our part on this expert speak from the book by Cerf and Davinsky. We're going to go back to 1965, in the words of our president, Lyndon Baines Johnson. We are not about to send American boys 9,000 miles away from home to do what Asian boys ought to be doing for themselves. 1965. Just remember, folks, just because they say things doesn't necessarily mean that. Again, we have President Johnson 2 years later saying victory is in sight, after we have 22,000 troops in the area, and we ended up losing 47,000 of our loved ones. Happened to have lost a couple of cousins on that deal. Two of my first cousins were ROTC first lieutenants, second lieutenants, and one lasted less than a week. The other one lasted about 2 months, but those are sad times. Let's get back to the markets. We're going to take a look at the gold market. Oh, by the way, we're going to have Norm Winsky on at the break, which is always a lot of fun. He gives us some great information from Astro Trend. And we will be looking at the gold market because yesterday, the first chart I posted in here showed how we went up and artificially took that trend line, which, as we know, trend lines are really based on fib points. So if you put them at where they should be placed, like at the 1241 level, you would have still seen that there's a potential for gold to drop. And that's what I think is happening now. And again, here we go into the book about expert speak, which I have about, I think they quote me about 87 times in that book. I probably should do a lot more, but we'll see. Actually, I'm not in the book at all. But anyway, let's take a look at the gold. If we look at the second chart that we're going to look at this, we're going to be watching the potential of this butterfly pattern to come down and form at nearly the old double bottom that we had back on the 14th. So we still have a chance for this 1190 area. The key today, of course, is the 1216 area. If we take out that 1216 support, which let us rally up to the 1240 level, that's going to send us down towards this next target. So that's the main thing to look at. Now, gold reacts pretty well with the moon, and we do have a new moon, I believe, tomorrow, as I recall, and we'll have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen here, and we'll see what's wrong here. Okay, we'll see what's going on with the gold, but that's what it looks like right now. It's got everything still lining up. We're still looking at possibly that 1190 area, so we certainly want to keep a very, very close eye, on that, and that's the main thing that we'd like to look at. Now we're going to take a look here at the crude oil market. And yesterday, we've been talking about this area of 3450. Now, what happened was we only got down to the 382 level of the low from February to the high we had in March. The 38% retracement came in at 35.55, and we went down a little bit below that. We went down to about 35.20, and then we've had a pretty good rally. We rallied up to 37.20. So watch the pullback on this again. That would bring us back to that 36.20 level. That might be a pretty good place to look at oil. But oil's looking very, very interesting now, folks, just as gold is. It's got a real chance here to see if it's going to do that as far as turn, but that's what the that's what it looks like. It just looks like it's got a pretty good chance to change. What I'm doing here is I'm running through some of these charts because I don't want to take away from our time with Norm, because he's got such wonderful information for us, but I do want to cover the markets as close as I can. Yesterday in the S&P, we talked about that 1236 level being so very, very important, and we did get to that right on the close. And then last night we rallied up to a 382 retracement of that move. And folks, if we break 1236 now, or let's try it again, 2036 now, we'll be looking at a ABC structure that will take us down to the TAS profile that John Logan talked about, which is coming in at around 2018. And our old low we had was 2011, way back on the 24th of March. So just keep an eye on that 2036, because if we break that, we're probably going to be heading down, a whole lot lower. That's the way it would look like on a technical basis. But so far, we're still holding above that level, at least temporarily. Remember, folks, we still think that we're looking at nothing more than a bear market rally that completed up here with all kinds of fanfare, and I believe that we're heading down now to something a lot more sinister to the downside. So 2036 is the key. If we take that out, we'll be looking at 2018. Will it be straight down from there? Most probably not, because you've got so many people that are looking to buy value, or whatever they call it, and that's what supports these markets, and that's what gives you these really strong swings. We rallied, 17 handles from the bottom yesterday. No, we didn't either. We only rallied. We only rallied 12 handles. It's I thought it was 17. No, we rallied 12 handles off the bottom, which isn't that much, considering, how much this market is moving each day. So keep in mind, 2036, and after 2036, you'll be looking at a potential for the market to go down all the way to 2018. If we take out 2011, then it's a whole new ball game. We're going to be looking at something really serious, which is, I think, what we're looking at. But we'll have to wait till these markets line up, pretty closely here. Now, we do have a question about the. If you'll bear with me here 1 second, about the crude oil here, because I wanted to show what happened in crude yesterday. We had that number we were looking at. If you'll notice here on the crude, between the all day yesterday, which is the 5th of April, you'll notice that we made 3 higher bottoms, and that's usually a pretty good sign. If you look at 0.5 on that, that's where you're looking at your 61% retracement of the move from 35.20 up to 35.90, only 70 pips. You back off, and then you have the pretty good run up. And then last night we got up to 37. We matched that high that we had back a few days ago, and now we're pulling back. That's why this area of 36.32 is going to look interesting in the crude oil. So keep an eye on the crude at 36.32, because if we hold that level, you've got a chance for something significant. Okay, we've got to take a little break here. 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look at the Treasury notes. Treasury bonds are doing pretty much the same thing, but we got almost up to the 61% retracement yesterday in the notes. We missed it by about 5 pips, so that's pretty close, but we want to still keep it open for a potential move to the downside, because this is going to be a very interesting one, because we made that big butterfly pattern up there that had the 1.27 and 1.618 ratios back in February with that big shooting star pattern that Steve Rhodes pointed out to everyone here at TFNN, and then rally back. This is what we'd want to be watching. This is what Gartley talked about, is to sell that rally back. And of course, all we did was add those Fibonacci numbers to some of those patterns, and that gave us, the things that we look at with the pattern recognition. We've had a couple of questions coming in here on the Den. Before we get to that, I have to share with you a beautiful chart by our good friend Jim Bartolione. In fact, there's 2 of them here that I need to show you because they're just so perfectly indicative of what technical analysis is really all about. The first one we're going to look at is the banking index on a monthly chart. And as you can see here, we're looking at potential parallel moves here in the banking index, which would take it, quite a bit lower. You'll notice that the leg up from 2002 to 2007 was exactly the same as the leg up from 2009 to 2015. That was without an error factor of less than 1%, folks. I mean, that's a pretty powerful statement. As you'll notice there in 2015, when the market was making its high, it was also completing the Gartley pattern at the 61% retracement of the high from 2007. So this is really nice work from our good friend Jim Bartolione, and he has another one that is very, very interesting also, and that is in the British pound. But before we have that, I want to show you the one that I like the best of all, and that is the this verifies where we are in the market, I really believe. This is the Dow Jones Utility Index going back to 1942. And if you'll notice here, the way he's got this laid out, you'll see the 3 drive to a top pattern. The first drive was in 2007, coming off of the bottom in 2002. Remember, folks, the market didn't bottom on 2001 when we had 9/11. It didn't bottom until a year later in October of that year. And so what we're doing now is we're watching this 3 drive to a top complete, and we did go up, and we tagged that previous high out by just a little bit, which makes the symmetry absolutely perfect. So you can see that 3 drive pattern very, very clearly. If you look at the bottom of the chart, you'll notice that there's RSI divergence. Jim looks at that as a potential secondary way of looking at it. If you'll look at the 0.2 in the middle one, if you'll go down and look at that RSI divergence, you're going to see it again, because the same thing was happening. There was not nearly as relative strength was happening as what the prices were trying to tell you. And so you want to keep an eye on that. And if you go back to 2007, you're going to see exactly the same thing, where you had that divergence. So you got some things telling you that there's something not right in Camelot. So be very, very careful here, because everybody has been talking about this giant breakout in the stock market, and frankly, it wasn't that at all. If you look at the New York Stock Exchange Index, it was not even close to that. There's a thing that we're watching. The next one we're going to be looking at is the British pound, because we're very, very close here in the British pound for a really strong support down here at this 139.70 to 80 level in the British pound. And that's one of the major crosses, one of the major cross rates in Forex. And so we'll see what's going on with that. So watch the British pound. This is something that looks very, very interesting. If you remember, yesterday we talked about the Swiss franc, the importance of the Swiss franc and what it was doing, in the markets. And if we'll take a look at this chart, you can't see the rally yet because I haven't had a chance to post it in, but it rallied over 80 pips. It hit the exact number yesterday in the Swiss franc at 95.45. That was the number was 95.44. We hit 95.45, and we rallied up above the 96 level, selling off a very tiny bit right now. But it did move almost 80. Well, it did move 80 pips off the bottom. So it's going to be interesting here to watch this Swiss franc, because it's got all the potential of something really dramatic to occur, to see a potential rally here in the Swiss versus the U.S. dollar. So keep that on your watch list, along with the British pound and the notes, and of course the S&P going below 2036 is going to trigger something very, very ominous to the downside, which gives us to 2018, and below 2018 is sayonara. Goodbye, a la vista, hasta luego, whatever you want to call it. That will be a really, really negative sign in the market. So we'll watch this also. We've got a whole bunch of things to look at, and we have Norm coming on in just a little bit, just to see what's going to be happening with the astro things that he looks at, which are very, very important. One other chart that I think that is necessary to talk about, and that is the gold and silver ratio. This is at an all-time record. I think we're at about 80, as I recall, maybe even a little higher. A ratio of, it used to run at around 16, so you can imagine how crazy it is. You can see what's happened to the gold market. It's exploded to the upside, whereas silver has been lagging badly. So this is still occurring. Now, if silver ever raises its head, it'd be unusual for silver to pull gold along, but it's possible. That happened in the early stages, or excuse me, the late stages of the market in 1979 and 80. Silver was getting up to almost $50 an ounce. In fact, they say it traded above $54 an ounce, but in fact it never really did, because I was in the silver business and gold business as a hedger for some of the very large silver dealers and coin dealers in gold and silver in the Los Angeles area. And we never really saw a price better than $40 an ounce. In fact, bags got to about $36,000. In other words, a $1,000 face value bag got to $36,000. It weighed 54 pounds, but that's the high that we ever saw, as I remember it. And I was in the heat of the battle at that time in a big time way. So that's all I remember about that. And we had a question about one stock, and if I can find it, I will certainly bring it up. Now, where is it? Oh dear, here we go again. Well, we're going to have Norm on here in a few minutes, and if I find this stock, I'll post it at the end of the show here, and then we will take a quick look at it, and then we will go on. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Hold on just one second. Here it is. Oh, we got to take our break now. Just a second.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we have our good friend Norm Winsky from Astro Trends on the line. Are you there, Norm?
Yes, sir, Larry. Good morning.
Well, I'm going to turn over the golden microphone to you, my friend, because your voice has been golden here since we started having you on almost a year ago. Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. And the other thing that I wanted to mention to you is we were talking basketball the other day, and because you went to school at Indiana State, the home of the legendary Larry Bird, did you ever get a chance to meet him during that era, or were you already out of there by that time?
Oh, I was out of there by then.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That was in he left in '79, and you were already you already bought your seat at the CBOE at that time, hadn't you?
I'm about 5 years older than Larry.
Yeah. Okay.
Larry ended up buying a home here in Naples, Florida. You know, so
I know. He's only two. Yeah. I heard he's only two. I heard he's only 2 houses away from you down there at the Naples Country Club.
No, well, maybe.
Do you know the story of that, Norm? You know, they wouldn't let him in the country club there at Naples, so he built his own country club.
You're not that far from the truth because I knew he used to. Well, his first house he had here was about a mile from where I landed when I came here, and so I used to, when people came to visit, I'd say, "Oh, let's go see where Larry Bird lives." And he had this house that was like a small hotel. It was like 2 houses put together into like a small hotel. I don't know if you know Larry or not, but
oh yeah, I've been to several of his birthday parties. A couple of my good friends have worked for him forever. They run a couple of the Honda dealerships and the Burger Kings and stuff. So,
did you ever go to his home here in Naples?
No. I've been to his home in French Lick, Indiana. Went past it, of course, but I didn't go in it. But I met him a couple times, and at his birthday. His birthday's on December the 7th, but he has his parties in July because of the basketball season. They have this big fish fry down there, and one of my good buddies, Bob Thompson, who was the director of admission there at Indiana, invited me to go, so I was able to see it twice, but it was a lot of fun. Let's get to the markets. That's what these folks want to hear.
Yes,
we got page 1 up, buddy. Fire away.
All righty, very good. So we got some big things happening here this month. Huge things. You know, that seems to be a popular word now. Huge. So one of the first interesting things happening is what's called a lunar syzygy, also in pop culture, is called a supermoon. This is when either the new moon or the full moon lines up with the apogee-perigee cycle. Everybody knows about new moon, full moon. But there's multiple lunar cycles. Then probably the next most important cycle, the new moon, full moon, is apogee and perigee. The moon is not going around the Earth in a circle; it's elliptical, and so the moon, as it goes around the Earth, has a closest point and a farthest point. The closest point is called perigee. The farthest point is called apogee. About every 14 months, the new moon would line up with perigee or at its closest point, and conversely, there's an alternate, the opposite cycle is going to occur every 14 months, but in the mid-cycle point. So 7 months ago, we had a full moon at perigee. Tonight, we have a new moon at perigee. So that's how.
Was that the September 28th one that you?
Yeah, exactly. Night of Sunday, September 27th. We had the full moon lunar eclipse. There, you had 3 cycles come together. Uh-huh. So you had a full moon at lunar eclipse at perigee, and you might remember, Larry, that the next morning the market gapped down. The Dow Jones gapped down 300 points.
Yep, that was the bottom.
Yep. So you might, at least on a short-term basis, you might want to pay attention to these lunar cycles. Can be rather important. Moving ahead, I just took the top things out of my letter here and to talk about, and so we got another big thing coming up here on the night of Tuesday the 12th, when Jupiter will line up with Uranus, and so that's a big deal. And so that's some of the markets indicated are Uranus is copper, and Jupiter's in Virgo now, so that'll be soybeans. So watch those 2 markets there. And coming up Tuesday night, and then I can't even come up with the words for this thing. You're probably aware of this, Larry, that on the weekend of the 15th, we have both Mars and Pluto turning retrograde. Now, I'm going to do a quick thing here for the new people about what's called station points. Station points are due to the rolling motion of the Earth. All the planets are going around the sun at different speeds. Just like if you're driving in your car, you're doing 60, somebody passes you doing 70. You know, looking at your speedometer, it says you're doing 60, but if you happen to glance out your side window, you might get the impression that it appears that you're going backwards by 10 miles an hour. That's rolling motion. Einstein talked about this, being in a train station and sitting on a train. And so if you go out and plot the planets every night, you would see that individually the planets look like at certain times that they have stopped their motion and then reverse the direction. That this is a rare event now that we have on the weekend of the 15th, and that we have two planets doing this within about 24 hours of each other. I have, this is one of my big things I always talk about, Larry. One of my top things is that when the planets change direction, the markets change direction. To this April 15th weekend, you got a twofer. You get two for the price of one. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's a good thing here, because just in terms of the traditional astrological rules and what these planets mean, when Mars and Pluto get together, it's usually not real good. And so I'm not only concerned about the markets here. I'm concerned about what might be happening in the world. Then I think there's a potential here for some really nasty stuff happening. You might have some terrorist attacks or military things or things blowing up, or seismic. Might have some earthquakes or volcanoes. Some really nasty stuff going to happen right there. And so be very careful. I'm planning not even to go out of my house. I don't even know if I want to go out and go out to my mailbox and get my mail that weekend. So.
Well,
I'm hiding under my bed.
You don't have a big terrorist cell down there in Naples that I'm aware of. So,
well, they all are very, they're all very classy. They have a lot of money, and they drive around in Bentleys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's huge. This stuff is huge, and the markets associated with these factors on the April 15th weekend, Mars and Pluto, will be. We're going to primarily talk about the Pluto thing, because Mars is in Sagittarius, which is oats, and nobody cares about oats. But we have Pluto in Capricorn, and that has to do with coffee, cocoa, hogs, and bonds. And you were talking about the T notes there a little while ago, so we'll be looking at that chart here in just a minute or so. So anyway, moving ahead here, there's our big factors we're going to talk about. I'm only covering the first half of the month. If folks want more, they can get a hold of me and get the whole letter and learn how to use this stuff and maybe make some money.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, so we're moving ahead to page 2 now. I'm going to talk about the stock market. And here's the deal on the stock market. The stock market, the stock market is the big basket of everything. So if there are any major planetary events happening, that should affect the stock market. The commodities tend to be narrow filters where they are only tuned into certain planets or certain signs, whereas the stock market is tuned to everything. So there's no filter on the stock market.
Okay, we got to take a little break. We got to take a break. Stay
right
with us, and then we'll be right back, okay?
If you're looking to discover a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Commodity Solution CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 8 equally weighted commodities, including WTI crude oil, gold, silver, copper, nickel, soybeans, corn, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With annual pricing caps of 70% per component, you could earn up to 70% upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this indexed CD. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this financial resource designed to grow with the times. The April 14th funding deadline is quickly approaching, so hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
It's 2016, and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, swim lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the three hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Norm Winsky of Astro Trend. Go ahead, Norm.
Yes,
Fire
sir.
away.
We're now on page two, Larry.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about the stock market. And so the big events coming up here are, like I said, Tuesday night, Jupiter's aligning with Uranus, and then they have the April 15th weekend. In the traditional sense, Jupiter-Uranus likely to be a positive event. And then the April 15th weekend, a negative event, but these things can and do invert. So the point there being that they are likely to be opposite points. If one is a low, then the other is likely to be a high, or vice versa. So keep in mind that. And so we have the huge point coming up here on those 2 dates. Then we have some interesting Gann market math coming up, where we have, the high. Oh, yeah, the November, you might remember we had a high back in November 3rd of 2015, and then we dropped into January. That was 79 calendar days. And if you project doing the symmetry theory that you do a mirror image of that, that projects to April 8th, coming up here in 2 days. So that's some kind of change in trend point. When I wrote this back last weekend, it looked like we might possibly go higher up until the 8th here, and then have a perfect symmetrical type move. But obviously we pulled back here, so something else is going on. I agree with your analysis here. If we look at the chart real quick, I'm pulling the chart up here now, and you can see the long-term trend line is kind of right around not too far lower from where we are now. And you break that line, it won't be symmetry. It'll be cemetery for the market, right, Larry? You're right. So there you go.
By the way,
anyway, watch for a possible. Yes,
Norm,
sir.
you had a really good compliment paid to you on Monday. We had Shane Smullian on from wolftrader.net, and he really likes your work, and he gave you some very nice accolades. So make sure you send him a nice little check today, okay?
Yes, sir. Well, if I don't know how to contact him, he's certainly welcome to contact me.
Send me the check, and I'll forward it.
All right. No, I'm serious. I'd love to talk to him. If he'd like to give me a call or whatever, that'd be great.
Okay.
So anyway, you know me for years, Larry. I always enjoy swapping information with people and getting to know people.
I certainly do.
There you go. So we had, and then so we got the 79 days comes out to the 8th, and then here's another. Now here's the one that knocked me off my chair. Then I did some other calculations and found out that we got the 415 weekend, and Gann was a fan of square numbers. That's 3 times 3, 9. 9 is a square number. So I happen to notice that I have an Excel spreadsheet where I'm doing some Fibonacci models, cycles, and I noticed the numbers there, and I said, "Oh, look at that! That's kind of interesting." That we have 2,601 days coming up, which is 51 squared. So we add 2,601 days to March 6, 2009. That was the low when the S&P got to the magic 666, and that comes out to April 18th, which is the Monday following the April 15th window.
Norm, we have a caller from Nashua, New Hampshire. Lou, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Larry.
Go ahead and ask Norm any question you like.
Okay. Do you think it's a good time to get into silver right now?
I don't make those decisions. I let the planets do that. I only have one decent date for silver coming up here in a couple of days for a possible change in trend for silver. Neither of the precious metals registered very well on the planetary radar for the month, so I don't go where the planets aren't indicated. So I have a thing in my letter. If you contact me, get the letter. I rank the markets for the month. It's called the monitor list, and I rank them and tell you where you should be looking.
Okay.
So I try to take the subjective decision making out of trading. So we just do what the planets tell us to do.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So anyway, feel free to contact me, Lou. Looking forward to helping you. Never get married to any market. This is just merchandise.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
It's like you're running a big department store here, and we're running a special on this one or that one, and never get married to any of this stuff.
Right.
Don't fall in love with silver, gold, any market. That's it. So anyway, moving ahead here now, we had the neat math lining up with the Mars and Pluto retrograde over the April 15th weekend there. There's your chart showing the longer term trend lines on page 2, Larry. And so you can see that this thing doesn't have much room on the downside. It's either do or die here, for the S&P. So I'm going to move ahead here now to page 3. Here's another market indicated next Tuesday night. Got Jupiter and Uranus lining up. Uranus has to do with copper, and there's your copper chart there. It's kind of be better if we were right there a few days from now, but potentially if we pull back a little bit, it might be at a support level for the copper, and then it'll be at its do or die moment. Also, beans also indicated for that time period. Also, the beans, all the grains are lunar sensitive, so on a very short-term basis, you want to watch that. And then we got the big date coming up at the end of the month. I'll go into that if they want to contact me, or maybe I can come back on later in the month and talk about the fabulous Mercury retrograde we all love so much, right, Larry?
Oh yeah, you nailed that puppy on May 19th, my grandson's birthday, buddy. That's etched in stone here in Tucson, Arizona. So we're watching it. Hey Norm, how about we have you on next Monday, the 18th, since we have that all that stuff happening on the
if we're still here, Larry. If we're still here.
Oh, don't start with me.
What's that?
Arch Crawford still has all of his survival food from what was that 2000 when we had what do they call that term in 2000?
I don't know. They had one last year that was a Shemitah where the world was coming in last year. Remember that?
Yeah. We've been here 4.5 billion years, so try to pin it down within a couple of days is a pretty tough spot. So let's go on. Let's go on to the
so the beans. There you go. The beans have been in an uptrend. Longer term, the beans look kind of good. I'd like to see the beans pull back one more time into maybe I got some huge cycles coming up for beans somewhere around June or July. Let's see one more pullback for this base. And it looks like, I think, longer term that the grains might be moving up and maybe later this year or next year. What's your feeling on that, Larry?
Well, we always have some scares of crops, but, I just watch the technicals of it. We just finished CD, but you're right. I think you look around June, July, you're going to see something really big happen.
Page 4, I'm on coffee now.
Yep.
This is interesting because we can learn something from this. I have a theory that when the planet associated with a market turns retrograde, that's usually bad if it's commodity. That's usually negative for prices for coffee. That occurred April 24th. Saturn turned retrograde. And that turned April 24th, and so the coffee's been topped out on the 23rd. It was off by one day. I got to fix that. must be a spot on the telescope. And so you can see from the chart there, the coffee market has been moving down. So I think this is longer term. You were talking Saturn will be retrograde for about 5 months. And so this will have negative pressure on coffee probably for the next 4 or 5 months. There is a seasonal pattern for highs in May for coffee. So you might get a little bump up. But I think the big picture for coffee is probably negative.
We have to come back for a break here, but when we get back, I want to ask you about planets retrograde all at one time in the month of April. Like we have. We'll be back in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Norm Winsky from Astro Trend. And Norm, the question that someone has posed is, we have 3 planets making retrograde motion during April, and how often do we see this occur?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. That's not having multiple planets retrograde at the same time is not all that rare, at least 3. But having 2 go turn retrograde within a day of each other, that's rare, and that's happening April 15th weekend. When we went to the break, we were talking about coffee because Pluto's in Capricorn, and Capricorn is coffee, so that's why we're talking about that. So watch for a possible change of trend over the April 15th weekend for coffee, and because it's Pluto, that brings up cocoa, And also, now I'm going to tell you something you're probably going to think is really crazy, that I believe that cocoa and hogs are astrological cousins. Not only that, it includes bonds, too.
Hot chocolate and bacon.
There you go. Like you probably put chocolate syrup on your bacon, right, Larry?
No, strawberry.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Norm, we have to give you time for a commercial, buddy. So why don't you tell us where the folks
there
can...
There we go. So I just want to point out, look at the chart there. Cocoa made a high on the 18th. Hogs made a high on the 18th. Pretty amazing. There's the bonds making a low within a day or two of the 18th of March, back in March. And now I'm going to tell you how you can get all kinds of free stuff. You got my free letter. Here's my contact information here. And write down my email, nwinski, Nwinski, at embarkmail.com. Or you can call me in Florida here at 239-594-3939. Or I have Skype if you're overseas, NORMWINSKI. You get the free letter and the class that goes with it. You're not going to want the letter without the class because you need me to decipher what's in the letter there. I do the astro. We have the advanced Fibonacci. We do fractals and all kinds of fascinating forecast models. And you're going to get about a college education in about a 4-hour class. And, I think almost everybody really enjoys it. And looking forward to helping lots of people. It's a process, so don't call me up and say you're going on vacation the next day, because it's about a 2-week learning process,
Okay, buddy, we're ending the show now. Thanks again for being on. We'll have you on the 18th of April, okay?
That'll be great. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Norm.
You bet. Thanks. Bye.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.